So what we're going to be doing today is connecting the Gemma to the NeoPixel ring, attaching a button, and soldering it all together, and then either making a necklace or a pair of earrings, or attaching it to a magnetic button or whatever you'd like. I'm going to prep my wires. I'm going to pull off at least ½ inch, and I'm just going to pull off one side of each of these 3 wires. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little button that I have, and I'm going to place it between the holes that are labeled GND and D1 before the button runs away from me. And I'm going to shove it in there. I might need to spread the little leggies a little bit, but it looks fine to me. What I'm going to do is turn the board over and just with my fingers fold the legs back. If I need to use a little tool to press the legs down, I can. We're going to be soldering them down, but we should make it so that the button isn't going to come off or anything. It's okay if it moves around a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 3 wires that I stripped, and I'm going to twist the ends because they are frayed all over the place right now. Feed one of the wires through the hole labeled GND. So that's the top one right here. And I'm going to choose one of the gray wires that I have. Okay, and I'm going to fold it over when I get to the back, just to hold it there in place. Practice heating up the wire and melting solder onto the components. I'm going to put a second wire into the hole labeled V out. It's going to connect directly to the power, however much power is in my little battery. And I'm going to solder this guy. And then the third one in the hole marked D0. After trimming the wires off the back and soldering them in, what I want to do is make sure I get some solder on the back of that button. I don't want to forget that guy, otherwise we won't have a good full connection here. So just solder this guy to the back of this pad. I'm going to get my NeoPixel ring back, lay it over the top, and work out where the best position is. So I'm going to start with the D0, and I want to find where the hole is that I can go into. So on the hole that goes in, position this guy right here. And it looks like I only need the wire to be, 3/4 of an inch long, but I really want to give myself some space here. So I'm going to cut this about an inch long. I'm going to trim it, and then I'm going to strip it. And I'm going to line these guys up again. And I can thread the wires through the top of the NeoPixel ring or the bottom. I'm going to choose to go through the top on this one. So I want to line my NeoPixel ring back up again, make sure I've got the D0 lined up with the in. And my ground should line up with one of the G's over here, and then my V out will line up with one of the V's down here. And for this one, I'm going to position my helping hands, get some solder on the back of this guy here. And the next one I want to do is line up my hole marked ground. And the last thing I want to do is mark the and match the V out with one of these V holes right here. Put all the wires in there, make it nice and clean. So once we've got all of those connected, I'm going to trim the wires off the back. I'm going to get my battery back. I'm going to plug it in just to test it and make sure everything works. And the battery is going to end up sitting behind here, right behind the board. So you can see it works. We're going to flip through some of the modes. We can see it doing some different things. Some different we're done.